kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life goes slow, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
It is the home of NASCAR, but tonight it will be home to a new champion here in the Night Shift Racing League. It is the final round of the season here at Charlotte Motor Speedway from Concord, North Carolina, where tonight we crown a season champion. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. A big race coming up here today. Again, season finale for this season and the championship. I was a little bit wrong in my prediction at the end of last week at Watkins Glen, and here in just a second I will show you why. Because up at the top of the, pardon me, forgot that that's a very rare mistake on my part. Up at the top of the standings, we have 1 point in it. Dave Hunt, even with his last place finish at Watkins Glen last week, Christian Roos finishing fourth, could not jump Hunt coming into this race. There is 1 point in it between Hunt and Roos going into today's race. Chris Papa and Mike Hamlin, there's 3 points in it between those two, and a battle for third could possibly turn into a battle for second, depending upon how the battle for the win, for the championship goes. Chris Otto is not here, so he's not really in it. Evan Ethel may be able to jump up one more spot. He is here. Same with Rick Helms. Gino Marrow, not seeing Gino Marrow, last week's winner, in the field just yet. There is a chance, though, that we will see some guys coming in a little bit later on, maybe during qualifying. But again, a 1 point difference in the championship. So that 14 and the 53 are going to be looking at each other all night to see where each other are, because it pretty much comes down to whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to take home the championship. So that will be something we will be watching out for the entirety of this night. Right now, currently on track, Blake Howell has the fastest time at the moment with a 30.190. We still have 2 minutes left here in this practice session. 9 drivers right now in the session to take the green flag here tonight. Blake Howell, Mike Hamlin, Cody McFadden, Evan Ethel, Justin Rodden, Rick Helms, Christian Roos, and Dave Hunt and Chris Papa will be the 9 competitors, again, at least for the moment. There is still some time to get these guys in if they want to race. As again, with 1 minute and 40 left here, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Esports Broadcasting Network. A lot of races today. This is the first of 4 races that we have coming up on the network tonight. The AARL Truck Series, Truckers Feed America Cup Series will open up their season at Daytona tonight. That is a long-awaited return that will be taking place tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. At 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the race we thought we were going to have last week. The Rick Motec Cup Series will open up their season this week for sure. Will open up their Cup season this week at Daytona. Then after that, the Western States Racing League will round out the night as they typically do. They will be they'll be right back here at Charlotte for round number 3 tonight. Tomorrow is another packed day, another 3 races tomorrow. The Ghost Xfinity Series will hold round number 2 of their season. That will be a 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time start tomorrow night from Las Vegas. Then it's the Gunners Racing League. That is a series that we've done periodically. We've done a couple of races for them. This will be their season opener, the Next Era Energy 150 at Daytona. That will be a 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time start. And then the Way She Goes Racing League will hold round number 21 of their season at Homestead. That will be an 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time start. So we have 6 races between the next 2 days, which is, 7 races actually, including this one, between the next 2 days. And then it's kind of drops off a little bit with some series still having not returned from their off season. So we're getting into the qualifying session now. And with that, Evan Ethel appears he will be the first one to take the racetrack. Rick Helms, Blake Howell, Dave Hunt on track as well, so a little bit less than half of the field. Jumping out onto the racetrack here to begin this 5-minute qualifying session before we go to the 8-lap sprint race. And then it will be 100 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway to determine who will take home the crown this season. As Ethel will be the first one to begin his lap. Everyone else getting out on track now except for Cody McFadden and Christian Roos. Those are the only two drivers that are still in pit road at the moment. As Evan Ethel working his way down the back straightaway, he will be the first one to set a time. Rick Helms is not that far off as far as track distance behind. So Ethel will cross the line now. His first time will be a 30.43. Rick Helms goes to a 30.51. Dave Hunt crossing the line. Hunt will go second at a 30.48. Christian Roos now on track. Only one not on track. Cody McFadden in the 64. Blake Howell will not set a time on his first lap. Must have had a spin somewhere that we missed. Ethel across the line. Ethel a 30.38. Helms a 30.46. Dave Hunt crossing the line now. And for Hunt, it'll be a 30.31, so a very good pickup on that second lap. Mike Hamlin on his first lap goes second. 30.32 dead. Blake Howell does not set a competitive time in qualifying, which is very interesting for the guy who was quickest in the practice session. Here is Christian Roos on his first lap. See what the smoke pit number 14 Chevrolet can do. Crossing the start-finish line now. And Roos, his first lap will put him up into second. Blake Howell's second lap now comes across the timing and scoring sheet. That will put him second. Mike Hamlin goes to the pole. Chris Papa on his second lap. I believe will better his time, but not his position. Justin Rodden to P7. Cody McFadden to P5 on his first lap with a 30.43. Christian Roos will now unthrone him from that P5 position with a 30.43 of his own. Two cars left on track qualifying, both of them in the second half of their second lap. Justin Rodden crossing the line to complete his qualifying run. Good enough for fourth. Cody McFadden crossing the line, and he will not better his time. Ran a 30.43 his first lap, a 30.44 on the second. So qualifying is now officially done and dusted here at Charlotte, and we do have a minute to go. So it will be Dave Hunt on pole for the sprint race here once we get it going. It's Chris Papa's number 31 Ford Mustang. Mike Hamlin and Blake Howell will not be participating in the sprint race starting on the front row. Dave Hunt, Justin Rodden will make up row number one. Now, Rodden won the sprint race at Watkins Glen last week. And now we're just waiting for these final 22 seconds to tick away before we can get into the grid for the sprint race. As qualifying now has come and gone. We'll now get you to that official grid for the sprint race. Dave Hunt will start on P1. Justin Rodden will start second. Evan Ethel and Christian Roos will make up row number 2. Cody McFadden and Rick Helms will sit in row 3. Row 4, the lone soldier on row 4 will be Chris Pappas. So this will be 7 cars, 8 laps around Charlotte. As we get set to kick this sprint race off right here and now. Cars lining up on circuit. Everyone is up on the grid, so we will now begin to roll. Track conditions for the sprint race. We're about 15 minutes past the top of the hour, 8 o'clock p.m. here at Charlotte, so this race will be a twilight race. 74 degree ambient temperature, 77 degree track temperature. These guys will have a nice amount of grip here all night once the tires really start to come into their own. As the cars work their way down the back straightaway. If this is your first time seeing one of these sprint races, everybody in the field competes in this sprint race minus the 2 drivers that started on the front row. And they will start the race where they finish, in the order that they finish this sprint race in. Much in the same way the duels at Daytona work during super speed weeks at the beginning of the NASCAR season. So coming through turns 3 and 4, the 8-lap prelude to what we're going to be seeing in the championship race tonight. Coming across the line into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Charlotte. Everybody gets away clean, at least for the moment. Rick Helms in the 75 having a little bit of internet issues, not showing up on track at the moment. Justin Rodden on the outside. Oh, a big push up the track for the 53 of Hunt. That'll allow Christian Roos the momentum. The 2 battling for the championship tonight, running side by side. Justin Rodden starting to get away a little bit, as Hunt will slide up in front of Roos. However, Roos has the advantage. Swings back down to the inside. Maybe a little bit of contact there as we ride on board with Roos. All that bumping and rough and grinding that you hear, or that you heard on board there with the 14, that is all, that's bottoming out. It's the underside of these cars smacking against the racetrack. Evan Ethel. Evan Ethel up to 3rd, pardon me. As Dave Hunt continuing a backward slide here in this 7-lap sprint. He's found a home in the 5th position, but right there as you see the gap from first place Justin Rodden back to Christian Roos. Rodden, Roos, Ethel, McFadden, Hunt, Papa, and Helms, your current running order. Chris Papa now working side by side with the 53 of Hunt. Not what you're wanting if you're Dave Hunt, unless this is a strategy call for him to try to start in the back of this race. Not put too much pressure. Apologize for the graphical issues. We've been having these here lately. We have 3 laps to go as we ride on board with Christian Roos. just hear how violent this track can be. Just the bottom tray of this car bottoming out in these corners. Here, listen. But that's not exhaust. It's not the exhaust firing. That is the bottom tray of this car grinding, bottoming out. All drivers on screen coming down to the final lap of this sprint race. Justin Rodden looking to win his second sprint race in a row. Started second in this one. And now is about a mile away from winning back-to-back sprint races here this season. Coming out of turns 3 and 4, it will be Justin Rodden crossing the line first. He takes the sprint race here at Charlotte, and his second consecutive sprint race to end this season. And with that, if my overlay will actually play ball with me now. It's been an issue that we've had with SDK for quite some time now. The overlay has its issues. Mike Hamlin and Blake Howell, there you see them rolling off. They will start in row number 1. Justin Rodden and Christian Roos will make up row 2. Row 3 goes to Cody McFadden and Evan Ethel. Row 4 will see Dave Hunt and Chris Papa. Rick Helms will start at the back of the field here tonight in the 9th position. After today's race, I think we got it back now. So what there are the results for the heat race. At least. And now the starting grid for the sprint race here tonight. For the main feature race here tonight, before we crown a champion in this series in 100 laps time here at Charlotte. Weather conditions have not changed much. Track is a little bit cooler at almost 8:30 p.m. here tonight. Coming up to the start-finish line to begin the final race of this season. Mike Hamlin takes the cars into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Not a great start by the 28. The 99 got a better launch out of the restart zone, and Blake Howell will lead into turn number 1 on the first lap. Big moment as Cody McFadden goes all the way down to the bottom trying to save that car. Dave Hunt in 5th. There's Roos in 4th. Mike Hamlin and Justin Rodden going for 2nd on this opening lap. Hamlin has it, at least for the moment. Now Rodden noses ahead. Ford versus Chevrolet as Rodden stays right down on that bottom line. Does not help him as far as corner exit is concerned. Still running side by side. Rodden noses ahead at the line. Blake Howell out in front of the field. Rodden and Hamlin, the only two battling side by side at the moment. As be right on board with the 28 of Hamlin. Just hear the pounding this under tray is getting. There's Rodden off to the left. Still running side by side, these two are, and now it's the two championship battles, two championship contenders. Side by side behind them, Hamlin and Rodden sort their dispute out. And now, ahead in the race and in the championship is Dave Hunt, at least for the moment. Still a very long night ahead of these drivers as Hunt works his way up into the 4th position, getting ahead of the 14 of Roos. Roos immediately throws the pressure right back on. A little bit of a gap forming between the top 3 and the rest of the field, about 0.6 of a second. Between 1st through 3rd, Howell, Hamlin, and Rodden. To the rest of the field, the 38 of Evan Ethel has fallen off the back of this group, the second group. Running in the 9th position to the tune of about a second. McFadden looking to the inside now of the 14 of Christian Roos. That would be for 5th, where Roos might have caught the wall coming out of turn 2 there. If not, he got about as close as you can get without actually hitting it. And Roos now will slot into 6th. See the 1-3 on the side of the 14 down in front of the left rear wheel and on the back of it for that matter. Not going to be getting a lot of pressure, I'm sure, from that 31 of Chris Papa with the same decal on the side. Mike Hamlin currently sitting in the 2nd position. Blake Howell has a half a second on the rest of this field. Now, Blake Howell will certainly be looking to avenge what happened at Watkins Glen last week. After getting run over and sent into the tire wall in turn 1 last week. Losing a race that he very easily could have won. He had the dominant car in the first half of the race. Made up a lot of ground in the second half. Unfortunately, by less than a second, at least for him, Gino Marrow able to secure his 3rd win in his last 4 starts. Rodden tries the attack again on the 28, pushes up in the middle of 3 and 4, has to back out of it. And that little tiny bit of squabbling was enough to bring this second group back up to the front as Christian Roos now trying to put the attack back on the 64 of Cody McFadden. Meanwhile, Dave Hunt starting to work on the 01 of Rodden, who gets into the wall coming out of 2. That was a definite. Off the back of Justin Rodden. 3 different lines for all of these guys. Going through turns 1 and 2. Blake Howell still about a half a second ahead, running right up against that wall. All the way to the entry, almost diamonding the corner. trying to get as straight a line as he possibly can off as Christian Roos works his way back past Chris Papa. Papa had gotten around him. 31 then, getting back ahead. As it sits right now, Dave Hunt would be your champion. Again, 1 point separating the 53 and the 14. A lot of side-by-side action as Cody McFadden looks to the inside of the 53. The 01 and 28 still battling. Blake Howell loving this. Starting to get away. It's up over a second now, his gap between first and second. It's the one positive thing about a smaller field. As you know for a fact, these two will be around each other all night long. Championship will always be compelling, and whoever finishes ahead of the other will most likely be the champion here tonight. Blake Howell up at the front of the field, leading by 1.4 seconds in that number 99. Mike Hamlin, Justin Rodden battling for second. Christian Roos for the first time since about lap 3 sees the 53 of Hunt in his rearview mirror. Spoke earlier about Papa maybe not wanting to put the pressure on the 14. He'll certainly put it on the 53. Trying to get to that outside. Evan Ethel has gotten around Rick Helms. Helms about 9/10 of a second off of the back of these two. So everyone's still rather close. Still only 5 seconds between first and ninth. So still a very close field as we see this battle for third here. Rodden in the 01, McFadden in the 64, Roos in the 14. In this dogfight for third. A little bit further back, the 31 of Papa has gotten around Hunt. And now Evan Ethel will put the pressure on. With how dramatically the 53 of Hunt is falling off of this group, my guess would be he used a lot of tire earlier on in this race and he's paying for it now. It's about the time where you'd see guys who really used a lot of their stuff at the beginning of this race start to fall off. And Hunt now has fallen back to 8th. He's got 1.3 seconds between himself and the 75 of Helms for last. Meanwhile, his championship rival, Christian Roos, currently sits in 5th and is within arm's reach of 4th now at least, as he'll jump into 4th position under Cody McFadden. Blake Howell has had a connection issue up at the front. Now he's back. So we saw the times disappear. That's why you saw him plummeting down the field. Big connection issue for Blake Howell. Mike Hamlin has been able to maintain that second position since the start of the race. The 99 got the jump on him as Rodden now once again looks to the bottom. Clipping that grass on the inside. Didn't quite get the position at the line. These two have gone at it the entirety of this race as there's the 28 getting into the wall. On the outside of turn 2, the 14 tried to sneak it up through the middle, thought better of it. Sure, working on lap 92, he might have gone for that move. Working lap 22, though, smarter play to do what he did, which was stay behind. 01 got loose coming out of 2, which is why he couldn't capitalize. Takes a big dive into the corner, trying to slide up in front of the 28 to block his exit off. Couldn't do it. Now he did it just enough to take that second position. Justin Rodden to second. Christian Roos with that 28 having to slow up in front of him. That's allowed Cody McFadden to get around into the 4th position. Mike Hamlin now coming under fire for 3rd as here comes McFadden once again. McFadden had a big push in the middle of the corner. Having to lay off. There goes Roos trying to take the run to the inside. Inside of turn 3, doing what he did to get around McFadden about 7 laps ago. And Roos back up to 4th. Your other championship protagonist, Dave Hunt, currently sitting in 8th. If the race were to end right now, the 14 of Roos would be the champion for the season. But still a lot of racing to go as we are already 1/4 distance gone here and halfway until we go to halftime. Some guys electing to just run that outside line. We're seeing guys like Hamlin and Howell, or Roos, pardon me, and Howell try to diamond the corner off, try to get a straight line coming out of 2 and 4. Roos to the bottom, Roos up to 3rd. That 14 is moving. Hamlin, though, not letting him get away, staying right on the bumper of that 14. There you see the gap between 1st and 2nd. Blake Howell getting away 3.5 seconds ahead, and now he will dive to the pits. Mike Hamlin coming down pit road as well. 3 sets of tires these guys have to do the 100 laps here today. And we know we're going to get a caution on lap 50, or the completion of lap 50. Blake Howell, fuel only. Mike Hamlin, I'm sure, will be the same. Fuel only and damage repair for the 28 of Hamlin. Chris Papa coming in. There's Howell on pit exit. Currently the first car 1 lap down is that 99 at the moment, but everyone needs to stop for fuel to get the rest of the way. A bonus point for leading a lap would go miles for that 14 right now. Point standings as there goes Christian Roos. For the race lead, Justin Rodden losing that race lead. And the 14 of Roos has secured a bonus point for leading a lap. Now, for those of you wondering how the point system works, the winner gets 40 points, second place gets 35, and then it's 1 point down from there. Howell, Hamlin, and Papa apparently came in a little bit early. So we work lap 32. Christian Roos at the front of the field. Rick Helms takes it down pit road in the 75. Rick Helms from the back of the field as the 01 of Justin Rodden brings it down pit road. So that'll be Roos, McFadden, and Ethel. Your top three at the moment. Roos by a second and a half over Cody McFadden. There is Blake Howell trying to get his lap back. .64 of McFadden goes to protect that inside line. Now comes down pit road. So it is Roos, Ethel, and now Hunt. Your top three, and the only three drivers remaining that have not come into pit. Roos now just needs to finish one position ahead of Hunt to take home the championship. If Hunt is able to stay out long enough to lead a lap, he will need to finish 2 unless he wins the race. Roos, Ethel, Hunt, your top three. Dave Hunt with the 28 of Mike Hamlin behind him. Coming up out of turn 2. Again, all of these guys on the same tire, so there's no tire advantage here. It's just fuel to get you to the end of the first half, which is coming up in the next 14 laps. Roos still out on track, still logging laps led. Only Blake Howell, Justin Rodden, and Christian Roos have led laps here tonight. Roos stays out. Here comes Evan Ethel into pit road. Dave Hunt will not follow. Hunt is going to try to stretch it to get that bonus point back. Blake Howell not really catching. Christian Roos. As a matter of fact, Roos is the fastest car on track at the moment. And I think Roos is now forced to come in with the fuel tank. Christian Roos will come down pit road. Dave Hunt will go through 3 and 4. He will take the race lead, and now we're back to square one again. Dave Hunt leads the lap, stays out longest. So now Christian Roos will need to finish 2 spots ahead of the 53 once again. 1 position in front to tie, 2 to straight up win. And now just staying out that 1 lap longer. There is the 53 of Hunt. Blake Howell is down the back straightaway right now. He will regain the race lead, and he will have a 5.5 second lead over the 64 of Cody McFadden. McFadden able to jump Hamlin, did not pass him on track. Mike Hamlin, a big snap of oversteer coming out of turn 4. Into the wall, right front suspension most likely out. Yep, his right front is broken on that car. Boy, and that was just as unfortunate as you can get there for Hamlin. We saw it in the back of the picture. It's already gone there. Try to go back a little bit further here. It's going to take a second before we see it. We're pretty much a half a lap behind at the moment. Caution never came out. We're right on board with him. He's going to get on throttle and the car is just going to snap. Over the rise and then bam. It was all it took. Didn't look dramatic from the inside, but that certainly has destroyed Mike Hamlin's race. So now Cody McFadden, an uncontested second place now. Evan Ethel has jumped up to third. Justin Rodden fourth. Christian Roos in fifth. Dave Hunt nearly 3 seconds behind in sixth. Papa, Helms, and then Hamlin, who's in pit road and will be for quite some time with damage repair. Blake Howell currently holding a 6.2 second lead on the rest of the field, and in about 7 laps time that will all go for naught as the caution for the halftime break will come out and bunch this group back up again. Here's Hunt on Roos. I think Hunt, yes, Hunt did. Hunt took tires, which is why you're seeing him storm up through the field. Christian Roos with a 10.8 second pit stop, so he might have taken 2. But Dave Hunt in that number 4 has gotten out ahead and has taken one of his sets of tires, so he will jump up to at least second here in an attempt to win this stage. Now, if the tiebreaker is on wins, if Roos does finish only 1 position ahead, as now the 53 of Hunt already up to second on those fresh tires, will now try to make up 6 seconds over the next 5 laps on Blake Howell. If the tiebreaker is on wins, that will go to Christian Roos, who has 1 win on the season. That was back at Pocono. Dave Hunt, championship leader, has not won a race yet this season. Evan Ethel looking on McFadden. McFadden pushing way up in 3 and 4. That will allow Evan Ethel right through. Justin Rodden. Boy, Justin Rodden very slow. Rodden's caught the wall as well. Has Rodden caught the wall, or is that just... Where'd he blow a tire? He is battling with Roos. This is through 3 and 4. See, he looked really slow. Oh, Roos hooked him. Oh no, Roos also into the wall. This is where we picked it up live. I was like, well, they're moving slow. Let's go back to it again. Or actually, sorry, we lost it there. Here we go. Roos, boy, he may have just gotten a little bit loose coming out of 4. And that was it. Huge championship implications. And while this was happening, the negative for Roos, this was up at the front. Again, this is fresh tires. Dave Hunt gets the race lead, has made up those 6 seconds in about 4 laps. There is the damage on Rodden. Christian Roos still out on track. And this halftime break is going to be a godsend for him. As there goes Dave Hunt, and the caution comes out. As Dave Hunt takes the win at the half. And his championship rival is in a lot of trouble. Fireworks, big ones, coming out here at Charlotte just prior to the halftime break. We'll reset the order and start half number 2 when we return right here on ESBN. Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Back live here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the end of the first half has come and gone. We are now about to begin the second half of racing, 45 laps here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway to see who will be crowned champion this season. A big leg up in the championship fight now for Dave Hunt, as Christian Roos has been down pit road multiple times during this stage break to repair damage caused by an incident at the end of the stage with Justin Rodden. Justin Rodden's still on pit road. He's been down there for 7 minutes repairing that car. Mike Hamlin in the 28, the only car being classified as out of this race. So Dave Hunt did not come into pit after taking 4 tires and fuel during stage 1. He will now lead the way here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing once again at Charlotte. Again, Roos had about a minute and a half of damage repair, somewhere in that range. He appeared to have gotten all of it fixed, so we'll see how much that affects the 14. Moving forward as Blake Howell works right under Dave Hunt, and he will take the race lead away. Hunt coming right back at him, though. You could use the tires in this stage now. There should be 3 up on the wall at the start of this race. These guys have now burned 1. They have 1 more to go and half the race distance to make it there. Howell to the front, McFadden to second. Tell you what, Roos doesn't look all that bad as Hunt just suffering from old tire syndrome right now. Drivers in this race, there you see the laps they came into pit on. For Roos, you see that little the little white and blue, that's him coming in to repair damage. You see Hunt 38, that's the last lap he came into pit on. Everybody else coming into pit during the caution at the halftime. Blake Howell out in front. Cody McFadden showing a lot of muscle in that 64. For Cody McFadden, he has not been around much recently. He's only run 1 race this season. That was back at Michigan. It was the only race he's competed in. Started second, finished second on that day. It was back at the 4th race of the season, back on the 5th of April. was the last time the 64 has been on track here in the Night Shift Racing League. Christian Roos still looking strong on that outside in the 14. Just got past Rick Helms in 4th. Now sets his sights on Chris Papa a second ahead. Roos would be the champion at this point in time. And if the tiebreaker is wins, the tie goes to the 14. Blake Howell up in front. McFadden not letting him go. These two have broken away by a full second over Chris Papa, who kind of finds himself on an island right now. He's got a second ahead and a second behind. Does the 31. Boy, clipping that apron there. Almost sending his car around. Christian Roos has gotten about a half a second ahead of the 75 of Helms. Now starting to work his way back forward. Dave Hunt has fallen 4 seconds off the front group. He's hoping for this race to, 1, stay green, and 2, he's hoping that he can build up enough of a lead on his fresh tires when he comes into pit early that guys like Roos and Papa can't get him back. Again, only 1 point separating the 53 of Hunt and the 14 of Roos going into tonight's race. Roos needs to finish 2 positions ahead to be crowned champion. 1 position ahead to tie, 2 to win. If Hunt finishes ahead of Roos, Hunt is the champion. Go through all the tiebreaker scenarios. Boy. I hope it's wins because they're tied with everything else. Hunt and Roos have both started 13 races. Both finished in the top 5 9 times, finished in the top 10 12 times, the both of them. The only other place where Roos has a clear advantage would be incident points on the season. Roos has had 53 incident points on the year, Hunt 74. Hunt, however, does have 20 bonus points to his name this season. Roos with 15. And actually, by winning the halftime stage, now needs to finish 2 ahead. Both of them have the bonus point for leading a lap. The heat win, the halftime win gives Hunt another point. So now 2 positions ahead to tie, 3 to win for Roos. Boy, a big wiggle by 75 of Rick Helms. Up at the front, by the way, while we were figuring out points and figuring out tiebreakers and all that, Cody McFadden has gotten around Blake Howell for the race lead. Boy, big time contact between the two. Going into turn 1. McFadden able to use the momentum coming out of turn 2 to take the race lead. Dave Hunt has come into the pits. So there is the strategy play for Hunt. He now has to hope that he can build enough of a gap in the next 30 laps that no one else can catch him. Christian Roos still battling with Dave Hunt. Or, pardon me, with Rick Helms. My apologies. Cody Helms. Oh, my goodness. Cody McFadden still out in front. These two currently 2 seconds ahead of the trio in your picture right now of Roos, Helms, and Ethel. And it's 5 seconds back to the 31 of Chris Papa, who's had some sort of issue with that 31. Appears to be clean, maybe just got loose and fell off. Evan Ethel for 4th. He'll get 4th. And Dave Hunt, here he is. Through 1 and 2 right now. He is a man on a mission. Trying desperately to pick up as much time as he possibly can right now. Not a lot of pressure coming from Cody McFadden, at least. Well, coming to Cody McFadden. Christian Roos just ahead of Evan Ethel. P3 championship position right now. As we typically do here on ESPN, the champion, no matter where they finish, will be the first to speak. Rick Helms down pit road in the 75. Chris Papa coming in behind him. So now it's two-car duels on circuit right now. Make it 1 as Blake Howell comes down pit road. 3/4 distance gone here at Charlotte. 34 laps to go, or 24 laps to go. McFadden, Roos, and Ethel. The only 3 remaining on track right now as here comes Roos down pit road. Maybe, ooh, just did make it down pit road as Cody McFadden, again, going for the win. Evan Ethel going for the win as well. Running 1 and 2. Evan Ethel, we expect, can run a little bit longer than the 64. McFadden came in on lap 52. During the halftime break, Evan Ethel came back down to top off on lap 54, so he can go a couple laps further than the 64 of McFadden. Roos down and away on pit road. Blake Howell coming through the back end of the quad oval now into turn 1. So Roos will at least lose the position to Howell. Here comes Hunt. Hunt up to 4th, Roos to 5th. Championship 53 at the moment. And Roos knows that he has to, if Hunt doesn't fall off, which all metrics would suggest that he will, unless he has really done an otherworldly job of, one, saving tires, and two, trying to build a gap. McFadden down pit road from the race lead. That will hand the lead over to Evan Ethel. Roos does have to finish multiple positions now ahead. 3 positions to win the championship outright from the 53. We saw in the live chat there, Roos effectively conceding the championship after that incident between himself and Justin Rodden in turn 4. Maybe a little too soon. Evan Ethel is down pit road, so this will now become the battle for second. As look at the run that Roos got coming out of turn 4. What a slingshot as Roos up to second. Tire life is 8 laps different between these two, and now here comes Rick Helms for third. And unfortunately for Hunt, he got off cycle to try to win the halftime stage. And it looks like this is going to be his undoing. He wanted the extra bonus point, and by not coming in at the halftime break, effectively forgoes the championship for the halftime point. Cody McFadden. Now, Cody McFadden has a tire advantage on everyone in front of him right now, so that was expected. Evan Ethel, who has the freshest tires in the field, there he is in the 38 flashing by. He is 5 seconds behind Dave Hunt, but right now Christian Roos by 1 point would be your champion. Blake Howell 4 3/4 seconds up the road from the battle we were just watching here for second. Roos, Helms, McFadden. McFadden, freshest tires of all. There you see what lap each driver came into pit. In the bottom right of your screen. And McFadden wastes no time getting around both the 75 and the 14. A power move by the 64 of McFadden through 3 and 4. Just incredible pace, and now he will set sail after the 99. He's got 13 laps to try to make up 4.5 seconds on the race leader. Evan Ethel has the 53 in his sights. They're tied at the top of the points right now. Look at how much Ethel is gaining, though. through 1 and 2. This looking like it's going to be the inevitable. Just hear how much, again, just the amount of bottoming out that you're hearing. Evan Ethel looking for 5th, has 5th. Huge overtake for the 14. Blake Howell is losing quite a significant amount of time. About a half a second slower than Cody McFadden that last lap. So we're going to have a couple of very intriguing races come the end. What was a 4.6 second gap is now down to 3.3, 10 laps to go. Staircase going the wrong way for Blake Howell. With how fast and how often Blake Howell has been up towards the front of these fields, winning poles, has only won 1 race this season. That was back at Auto Club Speedway, his first race with the series. Since then, Blake Howell has finished 2nd at Phoenix, 9th at Kansas, 5th at Bristol, 2nd at Watkins Glen after the race win. McFadden is certainly gaining on Howell, but not at the dramatic rate that he was gaining before. 2.5 seconds separate the top 2. Crucially, though, I believe for Dave Hunt, he has stopped the hemorrhaging of positions at least. Chris Papa 6.5 seconds behind the 53. Now making a little bit more after that wall contact. Running virtually identical lap times, if not a little bit faster in the case of Hunt. So Hunt will not fall any further than 6th. Roos, however, is the fastest car on track right now and can possibly get 1 more spot in the next 6 laps. There's the distance between Howell and McFadden. McFadden slowly gaining on Howell. However, Roos is catching McFadden to the tune of about 0.3 a lap. He was slower, but you can see lap 92 was the tilting point. This time it was McFadden a little bit quicker. McFadden found his line again. Roos is starting to get within the draft zone there. He's gained 0.2 down the back straightaway alone. 4 laps to go at the line. Inside a half a second for second place is the 14. I think McFadden tried a little too hard to catch up to the 99 of Howell, and that's still not out of the question. They're within 2 seconds of the race leader. There is Howell coming to 3 to go. Boy, getting real close going into turn 1. position he doesn't necessarily need, but would love to have. Inside 3 and 4. Coming to 2 laps to go. McFadden almost into the wall. That will allow Roos into second. And now Roos will have 3 miles to try to make up 2 seconds on Blake Howell, who has run a near flawless race tonight in that 99. He has been so solid from start to finish. One lap to go here at the line and 1.5 miles away from crowning a champion. Blake Howell has been one of the more dominant drivers since joining the series about 1.5 months ago. Has shown pace, has shown quality. Coming through turns 3 and 4 for the first time since his season debut. Blake Howell comes across the line. He will win at Charlotte. However, second place will go to Christian Roos, and he is your champion. Dave Hunt has crossed the line. He is 6th. Was not enough. Both drivers had a lap led. Dave Hunt had the bonus point for winning the halftime stage. But with Roos finishing 4 positions ahead, at least if my math is correct, Roos is the champion by 2 points. Waiting for official word. Again, like I said, with our math, it's Roos by 2. I'm sure they're trying to get a quick tally done. But we'll go to it right now. Christian, big second place finish by our math. You're the champion by 2 points. Am I correct?
I do not know. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I might need you to interview Blake first. We have our points guy doing the points right now, and then we'll know for sure then.
All right, so we'll do that then. We'll interview the race winner first. As Blake Howell, there's a little less math we have to do to determine who actually won the race. Blake, a solid race all the way through here tonight. Just how you made it look really easy.
Redemption. That's all I could say. Redemption from last week. That's what I came in here looking for, and it's what I got. It was a fun race. I burnt my tires up in the last run way too much. And I had 5 seconds on Cody at one point. He finished 2 behind me, and Christian finished less than a second behind me. So, glad it worked out the way it did. I was getting scared there at the end, but great car. Want to thank the 2 and 3 Simware bunch and all those guys.
It was a solid night from you all the way around. You didn't get the pole, but you were able to jump right back up into the race lead right at the start of the race, and from there it just seemed like you were on cruise control. No matter what you did, no one else could really touch you tonight.
Yeah, I had this thing set up really, really loose. It helped me in the long run. I I like driving these cars really loose, and if I get the opportunity to run it like that, then I'm going to. And that's what helped me tonight.
You certainly did. Now, 6 races at the end of this season, 2 wins, multiple poles, and several races that you very easily could have won. What are your thoughts going into next season? How are you going to approach next season? Will you be here for a next season?
Well, I hate to say it, but I won't be here next season. I can't run in the mornings because of school. I'm still in high school, so I can't do that. I would love to be here, but it's just not gonna happen.
So then, why don't you just take a moment and reflect on a season that was?
Man, it was a great season. I had 2 wins, and in my first and last starts, nothing in between. Glad I got my buddy Gino in here. I know he missed tonight, but man, it was fun. Me and him came in here with 6 to go, and we won 5 of the 6. So it was a great it was a great time between the 2 of us. I wish he was here today to run with, but it was a great last 6 races. A lot better than I thought it was going to be coming in, to be honest.
It's a hell of a dominating performance by the pair of you. And anyone else you want to thank before we let you go and celebrate a season finale win?
I want to thank Chris Papa and Christian for letting me join mid-season. It was a blast to run with you guys. This whole field, really. And I want to thank Boogity Media, Rogue Energy, 213 Simware, Maverick Motorsports, and this entire league, and you guys for a great broadcast.
Well, we appreciate that. Congratulations on the race win. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you somewhere down the line.
Yes, sir.
And so that was your race winner, Blake Howell, and we're still waiting on official word on who the champion is. And we don't see Cody McFadden in the chat, so that will be our last interview. We are waiting. Yep, and again, it looks to be, my math was correct, it would be 2 points. Or actually, it's looking like a tie. Christian Roos has received 36 points, 35 points for the position, 1 bonus point. Dave Hunt has received 31 points, 3 bonus to give him a total of 34. So I would say that would mean, I believe Christian Roos would be the champion. Again, I'm waiting for an answer just the same way you guys are. As we're seeing action. We're seeing action in the chat. Waiting to see, and yes, by 1 point, we'll bring him in again. Official word has come down by 1 point, Christian. You couldn't have made it any closer.
No, I couldn't have. I was talking with Dave in the waiting room there. I was happy with either first or second. He's been around the league since the inception. He's had some real strong runs in the past. I think last year he and I came down to 2 of the final 4 going into the last race. So I know he's a tough competitor. I was happy with either way. He ran a good race today.
Well, I was 1 point off in the math, but just to go through this race again, you had that. What happened coming out of turn 4 between you and the 01?
Oh, man, I was just pushing too hard. I had a run on him, and I knew I needed every point I could get to get closer to Dave. And I was pushing too hard out of 4. I lost the rear end a little bit, tried to gather it up, and he slid up a little bit too. And we just kind of met in the middle. I feel terrible for him. I ruined his race. He broke a toe link there on the right front. I like I said, I felt terrible about that one. I had a minute and a half worth of damage I was able to get fixed. I knocked my right front out of alignment, but didn't break anything, thankfully. So I hated it for him, really did, but he was able to hop in the chat and help me. So, unfortunate circumstances, but everything, I guess, turned out all right.
Yeah, it certainly did work for you, and don't think I didn't see you concede this championship in the chat. It just goes to show, once again, anything can happen, and with the pit strategy that Hunt had, you looked good. You were just kind of hoping that you were within arm's reach when the pit stop cycle went through.
Yeah, he played that pit cycle amazingly. He got that extra point for winning the stage there. I really did concede. I didn't think I was going to have a minute and a half worth of damage to be able to get fixed and still run as fast as these guys were. I was able to save some tire there at the end and got back around Cody, which I think is what won me the spot there. So that was the 1 point I needed, and I saved up just enough.
How do you think this season went overall as a series, and just a reflection on your season thus far?
As a series, I'm not going to lie. I kind of hoped for a little bit more. Car counts were a little bit low here, the back half of the season. But I think going forward, we're hoping to bring that up. For myself, this is the best I've done. This is my first championship here in the league. Last year, I finished second in our Xfinity series by 2 points, I believe it was. So it feels good to have back-to-back strong runs here. The league itself, everyone in here, a lot of clean drivers. We've had some incidents, some drama here and there, but every league has that. I really appreciate everyone who stuck it out throughout the season, who showed up for every race, who made it what it is, because without the drivers, we're not much of a league.
Absolutely. Well, Christian, as a champion, and two, as the league owner, the floor is yours. Anything you want, anyone you want to thank, anything you want to promote, it's all yours.
Yeah, actually, if we're able, I'd like to bring Rooster up here with me too. He's a good co-owner with here, so I'd like to bounce some stuff back off of him.
Here he is.
Excellent. Looking forward to next season. We are going to be running 2 different series on an alternating week schedule. Still on Tuesday, still at the same time. One series will be the truck series. Another series will be determined by popular vote within members of the league. We're trying to bring back car counts, bring back a lot of the competitiveness. Not to say past couple races haven't been super competitive, but more cars means more competition, and we all love to see that.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to promote?
Rooster, is there anything you want to add there? I know we've been running this thing together, so I want to give you the floor too.
Just a big thank you to everybody that had come and run, whether you ran 1 race, 2 races, no matter what. If you showed up to run a race, whether it was the ARCA series that we unfortunately had to end early, if you come and run that, thank you very much for that. And then everybody that ran the Cup Series as well, thank you. Thank you to Chris Papa and 1-3 Speed, the sponsor of the series as well. Been an awesome season. I wasn't able to run Cup like I wanted to this season, but the races I did were awesome to run. So been a good time.
It absolutely has. It's been a great time for us up here to watch. I know I came in late as well, but the race that we did see was absolutely incredible and a great time to be had out here. So Christian, Bud, congratulations on the championship, and we look forward to working with you guys again next season.
We appreciate it very much. And again, thank you to you guys. Thank you to Chris Papa for sponsoring the league. We're hoping to see him back again next season. He's been a big supporter of us the past couple seasons, and we want to see that relationship continue. As with you guys, we can't thank you guys enough for having us on, getting this time slot for us in the middle of the day. And we're really looking forward to the future and what that all brings.
Well, the future does look very bright ahead. So Christian, congratulations. Rooster, congratulations on a successful season as well, bud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so there you have it. The season has come to a close, and about as dramatic as you could get, waiting for the math to fall the right way at the last second. Just an incredible night of racing here tonight from Charlotte. A fun evening at the racetrack. Drama all throughout. A points championship that was 1 point going in, 1 point going out. Just such a good night of racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we'll now take a look at the results here for tonight's season finale. Blake Howell comes away with the race win. Christian Roos comes away with second place and the championship. Cody McFadden, in just his second race on the season, collects his second podium of the season. Evan Ethel comes home in third. Rick Helms in fifth. Dave Hunt in sixth. Chris Papa in seventh. And then Justin Rodden eighth, DNFing after that incident with the 14. And then Mike Hamlin after hitting the wall coming out of turn 4 after the car broke free. Coming up here on ESPN, boy, we have a lot still to do here tonight. Coming up a little bit later, the AARL Cup Series will be in action. It will be their season opener at Daytona coming up. That will be an 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start time. Then it will be the Rick Motec Cup Series season opener at 8:40. That was a race we were expecting to have last week. It was pushed back a week, so now we are here for the Rick Motec Cup Series opener this week. And then we will round out the night right here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Western States Racing League, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start. The Ghost Xfinity Series will run round number 2 at Las Vegas tomorrow night at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it will be the Gunners Racing League Truck Series, the Next Era Energy 150 at Daytona to open up their Truck Series schedule at 7:50 tomorrow night. And then the Way She Goes Racing League, round number 21 at Homestead Miami Speedway. That will be at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. So still 6 more races to go over these next 2 days. Congratulations to Christian Roos on winning the championship. We will be waiting on this series return. Any updates we have, we will bring to you during our other broadcasts. So stick with us. We have a lot of racing action coming up over the next 48 hours, and it starts at the AARL Truck Series at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, right here on ESPN. Good night, everybody.